And welcome to Dollars and Cents. I'm your host, Heather Sullivan. This is the show that's going to help you save cash and make smart moves with your money. In just 30 minutes, we're going to show you ways that you can slash your expenses and really make the most of your hard-earned dollars. We are harnessing the power of our reporters at Fox stations across the country. We're going to bring you our best consumer reports to empower you financially. So with that, let's get started. In this first episode, we all know too well, energy bills have been soaring through our record hot summer. So we're going to show you how you can easily cut hundreds of dollars off your home energy bills, even if you're already locked into an electricity contract. Federal student loan payments are coming due, but there are new repayment plans that can drop your payment as low as zero, help you earn loan forgiveness, and even wipe a default off of your record. So we're going to walk you through those plans. And are you ready for a fall vacation? I know I am. So we're going to show you some deal destinations this season. But first, we want to begin with a warning from the Better Business Bureau before you book your next flight. The BBB has posted an alert on its website that it's received multiple reports about misleading sites and customer service numbers online that are duping travelers into thinking that they're calling major airlines. In fact, the BBB of Greater Houston says some of these complaints point to a travel agency in Houston. So we investigated. Take a look at what we found out.
And I called a number that I found online that said Spirit Airlines.
Googled book flight with Flair Airlines or something like that, and this is what came up.
I contacted what I thought was United. So I called them and I got on the phone, and there was a gentleman named Jack. And he told me that he was from United.
The Better Business Bureau says about 30 people from across the country have filed complaints saying they either Googled for an airline or received an email or text that a booked flight was canceled. But the phone numbers led them to FlyVault Travels.
They started out, Spirit Airlines, how may I help you?
Many say they were charged hundreds of dollars in fees to book or change reservations.
In other cases, things are not going through. They thought they purchased a ticket, and then they come to find out they go to the actual airline and there is no ticket for them.
So I call United Help, and they are very confused because they're like, we have no record of speaking to you.
We called FlyVault Travels, but didn't hear back.
We came to the address that's listed for FlyVault Travels with the Texas Secretary of State's office. You can see it's actually this home.
A man inside who said it was FlyVault talked to us through a cracked door.
Have you been telling people that you are actually real airlines when you're not?
Okay, I'm going to check with my assistant what he's saying, okay? Then I get back to you.
Well, people feel like they're being misled and ripped off.
Then we got a call from Arpit Grover, who says he's the person who takes care of business.
So these customers are Googling airlines. They're Googling United Airlines. They're Googling American Airlines and somehow being connected to your company. How is that happening?
We are not aware about it. We get all our leads through a third party, through the third party marketing agencies.
Can you give us these third party companies? Who are these?
This is a trade secret.
Grover says they do not identify themselves as the airlines and sent us what he says is a consent email disclosing the charges for non-refundable tickets from FlyVault Travels, which some customers tell us they did sign.
He was rushing. Hurry up, I need to get this back before these tickets get taken.
Some customers say they asked FlyVault for refunds, but its no refund policy left them with just a wing and a prayer.
I told him I didn't think that was right, what he was doing. And I used a little stronger language than that. And he got upset and he said, well, is that the way you would talk to your mother? And I said, no, but my mother wouldn't treat me the way you just did.
Now, Grover says these complaints don't reflect their thousands of customers. And we put FlyVault's written statement on fox26houston.com if you want to read it. Now, United Airlines tells us they are investigating, and Delta says that they work with law enforcement and Google about links impersonating Delta. Now, here's some steps you can take to protect yourself. You want to download the app for the airline that you're dealing with and communicate with them through the app, or you can find the real number there. You can also look up the airline online, but you want to double check that URL for any misspellings. That's the red flag. And be sure you buy your tickets with a credit card that offers fraud protection. All right, let's shift gears. Let's shine a light now on your electricity bill. Has your home energy bill been burning a hole in your wallet this summer, especially with how hot it's been? Well, if you signed a contract during the last 2 years of peak pricing, this may actually be a good time to switch plans because rates have dropped quite a bit since 2021. Steve Noviello shows us how switching plans, even if you have to pay a break fee, might help to cool off your bills.
What I hear so often from so many of you is that I'm locked in unless I pay that early termination fee. Well, with rates falling from 19 cents to as low as 9, now may be the time to go ahead and pay because the return could be tenfold.
Our 16-year-old is Corbin, and twin girls that are 13, Kendall and Campbell, and then Cooper is the baby.
At the home of Jenna Glasgow in Corinth, her 4 kids aren't the only thing growing fast.
These are 3 months of my electric bill.
Thanks to soaring temperatures, her electricity bill has ballooned.
The electric bill this month was right at $900.
The next bill already on track to climb even higher.
They're projecting it to be over $1,000 this month. So, yeah.
We are making a different projection, a more than 50% savings totaling.
Wow. This would save us $3,478 per year, so almost $3,500 in the next year.
Where I'm from, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And with 4 kids, that's a lot of money.
And none of it involves running the ceiling fans, turning up the thermostat.
Honestly, we usually keep it at 73, 74.
Or blocking the summer sun.
We have a pool.
Oh yeah, you sure do.
It's gorgeous.
Instead, Jenna is among the hundreds of thousands of Texans who are overpaying for their electricity because they signed up for a plan in the last 2 years when rates were hovering at 17 to 22 cents per kilowatt hour. Check the rate on your bill. If it's that high, it may be time to switch providers, even if that means paying an early termination fee.
This summer, it's gone back down to 10 to 13 cents.
Mindy Luevino is with Energy Ogre, a company which monitors and shops the deregulated energy market in Texas for you to make sure you're in the lowest rate plan possible. Do you do anything that I couldn't do myself for free?
So you could do it. It's a lot of time, a lot of work. A lot of sifting through thousands of plans on the market.
The thing is, many people don't, including Jenna, who admits she's just kind of always been with her provider. Why not shop the market more? Because it's so expensive.
Yeah, I think honestly it was sort of the easy button. You know, they're well known. It's easy to sign up with them. They're everywhere, so it was just sort of easy.
She also says she's felt somehow more secure staying put, even though it's come at a huge cost. What, if any, service interaction have you ever had with your electric provider?
Really none. I know. So it's an education moment for sure.
And navigating available rates on her own? Take a look at the state-sponsored website. The bold print sounds great, but use more and the rate climbs. Use less and it can double. She says she frankly has no idea how to pick the sweet spot. We used the free savings calculator at EnergyOgre.com to run a half dozen bills from viewers. Take a look. All were in high rate plans. All were slashed even after paying the early termination fee. This viewer, currently at 19 cents an hour, slashed to 13 cents an hour, a $1,155 savings. This one, paying 20 cents an hour, cut to 12 cents, a $2,260 savings. Even this viewer saved $548 despite their low usage, which hovers at less than 500 kilowatt hours. It's the same electricity from the same source, so why pay more? If the numbers are so dramatic, why do you think people are so hesitant to switch their electric provider?
A lot of people like her, are in a legacy plan. They think that they're getting a better deal staying with their provider. They don't know, switching up your electricity provider yearly is actually the way to go because the rates changed so drastically.
Call it a light bulb moment.
They're killing me.
For Jenna Glasgow and her 4 growing kids.
And then to feed them, the groceries we buy in this home, $3,500 would go a long way. Yeah.
Again, you can do that legwork yourself, or you can use the free savings calculator. The secret sauce for Energy Ogre, so to speak, is matching your actual usage with the plan's sweet spot to maximize your savings. You'll find links to the state-sponsored website and to that free savings calculator right now. It's on our station website. And when you come see me online, facebook.com/SaveMeSteve. I'm Steve Noviello. That's my 2 cents. Spend it wisely.
Definitely worth checking out. All right, we know the bill is coming due quickly on federal student loans. The Department of Education's 3-year COVID relief pause on payments has ended. The interest is now accruing. It has started again since September 1st. The average payment is expected to be $200 a month, but I know many of you, it's $400 a month, $600 a month, or even more. And that has a lot of folks pretty worried about how they're going to make that payment on top of the higher cost of living that we're all paying right now. Well, Fox 5 New York's Ashley Rodriguez takes a look at how you can prepare.
Christian Burgos has student loans, but he hasn't had to pay the bills. When the pandemic hit, the federal government put a pause on payments. But now that the U.S. Department of Education's COVID relief is ending, reality is setting in.
The way that the economy is going right now, there's things that are inflating and minimum wage isn't even increasing with it to combat it.
September 1st, interest on student loans resumes. October 1st is when everyone in forbearance, or the folks that requested a loan deferment, will have to start paying Uncle Sam back. But there is a new program, Save Repayment, which can help make the monthly burden on borrowers a little lighter, especially as they face rising home prices, interest rates, and cost of living expenses.
The fact of the matter is, young professionals right now are making more money than they ever have in history. So I think that they need to embrace that and say, all right, I have enough ammunition to kind of take on some of these challenges.
It's a tight labor market, and there are well-paying jobs available, plus gig economy positions to pick up a side hustle for a couple extra $100 a month. So don't panic.
Honestly, it's just expensive to live. So thinking about student loans in general, when I get emails every day from Sally Mae, who is my distributor, who sucks. Sorry, Sally. I don't really stress about it other than the fact that I don't have to pay it back regardless.
Ashley Rodriguez, Fox News.
Now, the good news here is there are several repayment plans and forgiveness plans that have changed, and they can really help alleviate some of that financial pressure. The biggest change is a new plan. It's called the Save Plan. It's really a revamp of the Repay Plan, but it could make some people's payments as low as $0 a month, depending on your income. So Kelly Cowan from our sister station in Tampa breaks it down.
This new plan is going to tie your monthly payment to factors like your income and your household size. The goal is to make repayment more manageable and to give borrowers more options. Starting today, borrowers can sign on to the new website, the new Save website. A simulator tool will give you a personalized look at things like your income, household, and loan details so that you can compare all of your different scenarios. So whether your goal is to lower your monthly payment or figure out the best way to save over the lifetime of the loan, or even to pay things off as quickly as possible, you're going to be able to see it all clearly spelled out for you. Now, what is different about this income-based payment plan is that the Save Plan cuts borrowers' monthly payments in half, and it also prevents loans from ballooning due to unpaid interest over time. At certain low income levels, the monthly payment is actually going to be reduced to zero. And for all others, the Biden administration says that borrowers can expect to save at least $1,000 a year. Here's what's key. As long as a borrower is making their monthly payments, they will not be charged with unpaid monthly interest. The website to sign up is studentaid.gov/IDR, and those who already signed up for the previous plan, which was struck down by the Supreme Court, are automatically going to be switched to this new plan. And it has been, remember, 3 years since borrowers have had to make any payments on their student loans. But just keep in mind that that pandemic repayment pause, that actually expires in September. So starting in just over 2 months, you will have to start paying those student loans again. That begins officially on October 1st. In the Fox 13 newsroom, Kelly Cowan reporting.
Great explainer. And now that we are in September, of course, you know that interest has started accruing again. But there are also some other key changes that can help with these payments. First, you do need to know that many servicers, loan servicers, have changed during the pandemic. So you want to be sure to log on to studentaid.gov, update your file, especially if you've moved or changed phone numbers, and find your current loan servicer. If you do miss a payment, there is now a 1-year on-ramp. It's like a grace period, and a missed payment will not be reported on your credit report. And if you're already in default on a federal student loan, you can sign up for a new program called Fresh Start. And it really is a fresh start. It takes that default and it wipes it off of your credit report. It basically puts you back into good standing, and it lets you start an income-driven repayment plan. So it's really worth it to check out your options. Okay, let's have some fun now. With airfare and travel prices soaring this summer, maybe you've been holding off on taking a vacation. Well, fall could actually really be your time, because not only are travel prices typically lower in the fall, but there are also some secrets to taking a trip that won't trip up your budget. And Fox News' CJ Papa shows us what they are.
People are not slowing down for fall and for holiday travel.
Summer is coming to an end, but Americans still want to vacation, even while experiencing elevated inflation. The cost of travel necessities like hotel stays or transportation are still up year over year. But Virtuoso is reporting booming 2023 sales and a strong demand for luxury travel.
For fall, we're seeing a lot of Europe. Italy is the #1 destination. The U.S. is actually at #2. It has been #1 all through the pandemic, but we're seeing it go to #2. And then that's followed by France and UK and then Mexico.
To save on hotels, staying longer could score you a discount. So can booking in advance. And research spots where rates are coming down.
So if you stay 2, get your 3rd night free, something like that. So do seek those out, because they will most likely be in the marketplace, and your best way to save some money there. But also book in advance, and I mean really far in advance, like holiday travel yesterday and Europe or next summer, book it today, because the longer you wait, the more you're going to see those rates going up.
The U.S. topping Virtuoso's list of the hottest countries for holiday travel.
Not just for Americans, but globally, U.S. is the top destination. And then you see a lot of warm weather in there. You see Mexico, which are favorites, Costa Rica, Anguilla.
And there are some options where it's not going to be quite as expensive.
New York, LA, and then we actually see rates softening just a little bit in the Caribbean. So if you're headed to those sunny destinations, you'll save a little bit more this holiday season than you would have done last holiday season.
CJ Papa, Fox News.
And doesn't the beach look nice? Okay, well, have skyrocketing home prices kind of priced you out of the real estate market? They have for a lot of people, and even rent has been climbing the past few years. Have you ever thought about downsizing to a tiny home? More people are opting for small houses with a small price, but could you actually live in one? Fox 13's Mark Wilson in Tampa gives us a look into how one homeowner is making it work. He also shows us how more people are sharing really big homes.
This room here, I guess, is what you would call a great room.
Mark Wildman has downsized his way of living quite a bit.
It is a 1-compartment sink. You have to be a little creative living in a tiny home.
After losing his larger house in Hurricane Ian last year, he made a big decision to go smaller. He moved into Escape Tampa Bay, a tiny home community in Thanota Sassa.
My house that I had in Fort Myers was about 1,800 square feet. This home right here is 262 square feet. But I still have a full-size bathroom with a full-size tub, shower, everything else. Even has the washer-dryer combo inside the bathroom. It's got a door for privacy if people come over. I have a full-size bedroom with a queen-size bed, door that also closes. I have 3 closets. I've got a full-size kitchen, full-size refrigerator, freezer.
His cost of living has gone down too.
Well, you know, the cost of just rent, especially in the Tampa area, can push several $1,000s a month, which is just, to me, just a crazy waste of money. This home that I got right here was $55,000.
And he doesn't anticipate a repeat of what happened to him in Fort Myers.
It's so sturdily built. I mean, I've been through a couple of horrific thunderstorms already in this thing. It never budges, it never moves. You would not know the winds of 30, 40, 50 miles an hour are blowing through here.
So I actually hurricane strapped every unit that comes in here.
David Peterson manages the property.
We fall into the tiny house category. We are actually a licensed RV builder.
He says this has become an appealing option for those looking for affordable homes in Florida, which has become a bit of a holy grail.
People are starting to really love the idea of not paying for stuff that they don't need. I've met people from Texas to New York to California. that are very interested in downsizing and moving into areas like this. Payments and the lot rent actually is cheaper than renting. Our electric bills are from about $30 to maybe $40.
But some are choosing to go bigger.
So this is the front of one of the two houses that are on this piece of property.
In these multi-generational homes, family or friends share their living spaces and expenses.
So multi-generational homes can come at all different price points. It depends really on what you want. A lot of the lower price multi-generational homes would just be homes that are either split floor plans, where you have bedrooms on two sides of the house so people can have a little bit of privacy.
Thank you for being a friend.
It could be a living situation much like the classic TV show The Golden Girls.
I think the Golden Girls way of life is becoming more and more accepted. 18% of Americans now live in multi-generational households, which is 4 times the amount of people that did that just 40 years ago in the early 1970s. Because prices have gotten really high in real estate, the pooling together of financial resources has become really important.
And so has finding the right place to call home.
I don't need a whole house. I can wash, clean, dry the whole house in 10 minutes. It's wonderful.
10 minutes. Now that sounds good to me. I'd love to be done in just 10 minutes. Well, if you think that buying your first home seems out of reach, think again. Housing authorities want you to know that they offer programs that help people who receive Section 8 housing vouchers to become financially self-sufficient and even buy their first homes. I recently had a chance to talk with a woman who is the first in her family to become a homeowner.
I always wanted to buy a home, but I'm going to say I didn't really think it was probably going to be possible.
But mother of 2, LaShundria Bell, now owns her first home after once being homeless for a time.
Living with people, not being able to afford child care, just loss of job.
She entered the 5-year HUD Family Self-Sufficiency Program through the Houston Housing Authority. It helps people in housing choice voucher or public housing programs to reach goals like education, job training, buying a car, or starting a business.
So in the beginning, it was mainly to gain employment, to stay on a program, to try to not have to utilize like Medicaid, food stamps.
Congratulations.
Participants can open an interest-bearing escrow account to save up for their goals.
And as your income increase, we put it in a bank and you get an escrow in terms of interest with it. And once you graduate, you get all that money. You know, I've had clients that graduated and had $41,000.
Bell also entered HHA's home ownership program that prepares voucher recipients for home buying.
Credit repair, making sure that credit is where it should be, having a savings, right? And then just a basic education on how to be a homeowner.
Bell added her escrow money to down payment assistance that she qualified for.
I was linked to City of Houston, where they had a $50,000 first-time home ownership program. I also found about Lyft. They had a $15,000 home ownership program.
And says she is now the first in her family to own a home.
Owning this, just knowing that you can own it, just feel like the sky is the limit.
The sky is the limit. So reach out to your local housing authority to find out more about programs that can help first-time home buyers. It's definitely worth it. Okay, maybe you've heard about some free money. Sounds good, right? Yeah, not so fast. A popular impersonation scam is back in a big way. I'm sure you've heard of Publishers Clearinghouse. It is both a real business that offers real prizes, but it's also the name that many scammers have used over the years. Jenna Sachs, with our sister station in Milwaukee, has been getting more reports of this scam just as the company is cleaning up its own mess.
Steve Weinstein likes getting out for a ride, not being taken for one.
Once somebody tells you you've won that much money, you put all your other thoughts aside.
Back in the spring, Steve got this letter.
And the first thing that jumped out was that it said, "Congratulations."
It said Steve was the winner in a Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes.
The takeaway was I had won $750,000.
But the more Steve read, the more the wheels in his head started turning.
I realized that there were a lot of typos in it. There were a lot of grammatical errors in it.
Poor use of English is often the first red flag in an imposter scam, and in Steven's case, there were several more.
It had a Dallas address. The postmark was from San Diego.
The return address says PHC, not PCH. The name and phone number given don't show up online. And check out this $7,000 check to Steve. The check numbers don't match.
The letter said, "This is to help you with expenses related to claiming your winnings."
And that is the biggest red flag, because this check is going to bounce eventually.
If you're being asked to send money to claim a prize, it's not real.
Chris Irving is with the Real Publishers Clearinghouse.
If you want a real prize from Publishers Clearinghouse, we'll send you an affidavit, we'll send you some documentation.
Its famous prize patrol is legit.
You have won $25,000 from Publishers Clearinghouse.
Oh my God.
Yet imposters have long taken advantage of a name synonymous with free money.
You tie onto the name recognition to help break down those flags that you might typically trigger.
This imposter scam is consistently among the top reported in Wisconsin, but recently it was the Real Publishers Clearinghouse that ran afoul of the Federal Trade Commission. The FTC sued the company, saying it made people believe purchases were necessary to increase their chances of winning. And
they were adding on these surprise fees for shipping and handling.
The Publishers Clearinghouse agreed to pay consumers back more than $18 million.
I have never entered any kind of a contest like that.
That's yet another red flag that convinced Steve to hit the brakes.
If it seems too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
I'm Jenna Sachs, Contact 6.
And I love the way she broke down all of those red flags. Just watch out for those with any scam. All right, that's our show this week. You're going to find more ways to save on Sullivan Smart Sense on fox26houston.com. And this show is for you. If you have a money question or a topic that you'd like us to cover, just drop me a line on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Heather Sullivan, Fox 26. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on Dollars and Cents.